Another Wednesday Pilates mat flow class. So we're going to start in a quadruped position. So let's go ahead and come onto the hands and knees. And just making sure the hands are right underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers nice and wide and press into the knuckles of the fingers instead of your wrists. Making sure the knees are hip width apart and they're directly underneath your hips. We're going to start with some cats and cows, just rounding the spine into flexion and extending it. So on our exhale, we're going to drop the crown of the head and the tailbone, really press the spine up to the ceiling, feel the shoulder blades pull apart. And then on your inhale, lift the crown of the head and the sit bones to the ceiling, and you can kind of pull the hands and knees together towards one another to deepen the extension. And again, exhale, round, really push the shoulder blades apart, really tuck the tail under, let the head be heavy. Inhale, extend. And again, exhale, round. Inhale, extend. We're going to do this 3 more times. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. 2 more. One more time. Instead of extending, we're going to go to neutral. And we're going to start to pick up one arm at a time. I want you to resist any shifting in your hips as you're picking up one arm at a time. So we did a nice stretch class yesterday. I don't post those, and I'm feeling my obliques today. So as I pick up one arm at a time, because I'm a little sore, I can kind of feel my obliques engaging as the opposite arm comes up. Let's do one more each way. And then we're going to pick the right arm up and send the left leg back and find a balance. Imagine a light on both hips and they're shining straight down on the mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, replace the hand and the leg. Now without shifting your hips, we'll transfer our weight from one knee to 2, back to 1 to extend the right leg, left arm. Hold your balance. Imagine those lights on your hip bones, they're shining straight down. Slowly come down. We're going to do that again. Reach out. Balance. Really pull up through the abs, pull up out of the right hip. And then bring the hand and the knee down, other side. And hand and knee down. We're going to add little lifts. We're going to reach and then little lifts up. 2, 3. No movement in the torso or the hips. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, arm and knee come down and other side. Reach and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, arm and knee come down. Now we're going to go right arm, left leg. Bring knee to elbow, inside of the elbow, rounding the spine a little bit. Try to hold that balance and then inhale, reach it long. Let's do that 9 more times. Exhale in. Inhale out. 8, 7, 6. Hold on to that shape, that quadruped on opposite arm and knee. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Bring the hand and the knee down. Let's go left arm, right leg, and knee to opposite elbow. And reach. 10. Exhale in. Inhale, reach. 8, 7. Hold on strong to that balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently bring the hand and the knee down. We're going to turn our right palm up. Gently put a little pressure on the back of the hand to stretch out the forearm and the wrist. And we're going to turn it back around, left side. Just a gentle press into the floor. And then turn it back around. We're going to turn our fingertips so they face us. And then for a deeper stretch, you can sit back a little bit towards your heels to feel that stretch in your forearms. One more deep breath in and out. And we're going to turn our hands back around, coming into our quadruped position, curl the toes under, And we're gonna lift our knees up into our hover and hold for 30 seconds, begin. Press into the knuckles again so you don't have a lot of weight in your wrists. Hold and breathe. So we feel our transverse abdominis contracting. It'll feel like you're being wrapped in imaginary saran wrap. Spine nice and straight. Keep holding, keep breathing. 10 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bring the knees down. Uncurl the toes. Walk your hands out about 12 inches. Curl the toes under again and come up into a full plank. We're going to bend the knees. Push away from the floor. Drive your shoulders down, ribs down. Make sure your back is nice and flat. And then we're going to press forward back into our plank 10 times. Inhale back. Exhale forward or vice versa. 7 more. Keep driving the shoulders down. Even weight in your hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to pike our hips up and start to pedal out our pike. Shoulders down. Drive one heel down and hold. Keep the shoulders down. Press into the knuckles of the hands. And switch sides. Both heels down. We're going to come back into our plank. One knee at a time. Taps the mat. The body doesn't move. So we're dissociating that movement from the hip joint itself from the rest of our body. And just gently tapping the knees down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to bring both knees down. Knees wide, feet together. Sit back in a flat back child's pose. A couple deep breaths in and out here. From here, we're going to restack our spine all the way into a kneeling position. Nice and tall through the spine, and we're going to come up onto our knees. So just kind of pushing the hips forward. Make sure you're not arching your back, but you want to stay lifted. This needs to be open, so make sure you're not sitting back too far. So we do have a little bit of glute engagement here. We're going to take our thumbs, find the bottom of the rib cage, take your middle fingers, find your hip bones that stick out in front of the pelvis. So you'll have a couple inch distance here. And we're going to keep kind of pulling the knees together. You can imagine a block or ball between them, so just kind of squeezing. We're going to keep this distance the same as we lean back, and then exhale, come forward. Inhale back, exhale forward. So really resisting the space opening as we go back. Pressing the shins into the floor to come up. We've got 6 more. If you feel comfortable here, you take your arms out in front. 5, 4, 3, 2 more, 1 more. Good. From here, we're going to lean back, bend the elbow, pull it back, rotate to the side that you're pulling your elbow back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just 1 more each way. And we're going to come back into our quadruped. Coming down onto the forearms, lace your fingers together, making sure your knees are hip width apart. We're going to flex our right foot, push the heel up to the ceiling. Lift up out of the left hip. Make sure you're not sinking into it, so you don't feel like you're kind of pushing your hip out to the side. We're going to take our right heel and lift it up 10 times. 8, 7, 6, 5, shoulders down, and 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to extend the leg, lower the leg so the tap of the foot taps the mat, and we're going to lift up. 1. As you lift up, resist your belly dropping, so keep your core engaged. We're still disassociating the movement of the leg from the rest of the body. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to pull it in, reach it back. 10, 9, 8, 7. Stay out of that left hip. 6, shoulders down. 5, 4, feel that burn. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Gently bring the knee down. Without shifting your hips, we're going to take the left heel up to the ceiling. Make sure you're not sinking into the right hip, so you should not feel a stretch here. So lift up out of that hip, flex the foot, and let's press up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend the knee, lower the leg so the top of the foot touches the floor. Keep the core engaged, and let's lift. 10, 9, shoulders down, and 8, 7. Make sure when you lift your leg, your ribs don't flare and you don't arch your back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to pull it in, reach it back. 10, 9. Keep that hip bone facing the floor. 7, 6, 5. Breathe through the burn. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. We're going to bring both knees down. Even weight between them. Knees hip width apart. Keep the ribs down. Keep your hips facing forward. We're going to do fire hydrant. So take the right knee out to the side for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee down. Let's go ahead and do the left for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Gently bring the knee down. We're going to curl our toes under. Go ahead and bring the knees and the feet together, and you're going to press up into a pike on your forearms. Shoulders down, ribs down, lift your sit bones, drop your heels. We're going to look forward at our hands and start to point and flex the feet 10 times. Try to keep your ankles together. You're going to feel some nice mid-back work here. So just breathe through the fatigue in the muscles. A lot of shoulder work goes into our little glute series. 2 more times. And 1 more time. Gently bring the knees down. We'll go knees apart, feet together, and sit back in a flat back child's pose and just allow the shoulders to relax. Deep breaths in and out. One more deep breath in and out. And let's restack our spine all the way back up. We're going to come back into a plank. We're going to walk to the side and to the side. So kind of walking across your mat with the arms and the legs. So we go to the side and then to the other side. To the other side, just keep going. Try to keep the hips down so that you're staying in your plank. Side and side. We're going to go for another 3 sets. 2 and 1. All the way to the other side. And then we're going to return to center. Gently bring the knees down and sit back in that flat back child's pose. Knees wide, feet together, arms out. Breathe. Let your heart rate come down a little bit. And then we're going to restack our spine nice and slow here. Excuse me. We're going to transition to doing 100s. So go ahead and cross the ankles and roll over your feet. And we're going to send our legs out. Let's take a stretch forward. Shoulders down. Just allow your back to open up. You can kind of switch side to side or Shift side to side, pulling yourself down over the leg that you're shifting towards. And then we'll all come back to center. We're going to scoop and roll back, keep flexing your feet. So just doing a roll down to transition. Excuse me. We're going to bend our knees, place our feet on the mat. Let's try to stay neutral today. For our 100s, on our inhale, we're going to extend our legs. And on our exhale, we'll bring our legs back to tabletop. So again, as you inhale, the legs are going to go out. As you exhale, legs come back to tabletop. The challenge here with the movement of the legs is to maintain that stability in neutral through the pelvis. So let's pull the hip bones together so you kind of feel like you're bracing. Keep your little teacup balanced in neutral. We're going to bring our legs to tabletop. Draw chin and chest, come up into your ab prep, allowing the arms to reach. And look at your pelvis, make sure, or pubic bone, make sure that bone is parallel to the hips. You should keep that little teacup balanced here. We're going to open the knees, and we're going to send the legs out, and let's pump those arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, pull your knees to tabletop. And inhale, reach, 2, 3, 4, 5, and bend. Stay in neutral. Reach, 2, 3, 4, 5, and bend. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 40. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 50. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 60. 70. 80. 90. 100, and rest. Rolling the body side to side, deep breaths in and out. We're going to place our feet on the mat, hip width apart, arms to the side for a moment. Take a deep breath in to prepare. On your exhale, imprint the low spine. You're going to roll up into a bridge. Really squeeze the glutes here. Melt the ribs down. Allow your head to lengthen away. Then we're going to take our arms overhead. Just allow the hip to open up. On your next exhale, we're going to soften and roll down one bone at a time. Take an inhale, allow the tailbone to go to neutral. Keeping the arms overhead, we're going to exhale, imprint, peel the vertebra off the mat again. Inhaling at the top, letting your head lengthen away. Exhale, softening, rolling down bone by bone. Let's do this 2 more times. Really focus on articulating through the spine. Knees hip width apart at the top. Soften and rolling down bone by bone. One more time. And softening, rolling down one bone at a time. We're going to bring our arms down to our side. Lift the hips up and place your hands right behind your sacrum. The elbows can be slightly bent. We're going to kind of press our low spine into that space created by having our hands up on the hips, or the hips up on the hands, and then take your legs up to the ceiling for a lift and a lower. So we're going to lower down on our inhale, lift up on your exhale. And because our hands are behind your pelvis, you'll probably be able to go a little bit lower without arching the back, because it just creates a little bit of support for our hips. Inhaling and exhaling. So as the weight of our legs go out, you're going to resist your back arching off the mat and off your hands. Let's do this 4 more times. Reach them away. Reach them away. So the legs are getting longer as you lower and longer as you lift. 2 more. 1 more. And just hug the knees in. Let's roll side to side. Deep breath in and out. A lot of work through the low abs and the hip flexors. So we're now going to bring our arms to our side, shoulders back, take the legs high. Now we're going to add the lower and lift, but keeping our hands at our sides. So you might not be able to go as low. That's okay. Just listen to your body. We are going to work an imprint. So low spine is on the mat. Shoulder blades and head are also on the mat. We're going to lower, again, only as low as you can keep your imprint. Lift, And then I want you to do a little hip lift. So think about the legs going up to lift the hips. Let's do that again. Lower, lift, hips go up. 2 more. Lower, lift, up. 1 more. Lower, lift, up. Now we're actually going to roll up into a jackknife. So for those of you who don't want to do the jackknife part, you can stick with this exercise. So we're going to inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Think about the legs going up to go over. Bring your weight right to the top of the shoulder blades, not on your neck. Now we're thinking hip bones to the bottom of the ribs. So you want to keep that position as you open up the hip joint. So we engage the glutes a little bit, but we keep flexing the spine. Now we're going to roll down 1 bone at a time, allowing the head to lengthen away, keeping the shoulder blades and the head on the mat. From here, we're going to lower again, lift, exhale, roll up. Make sure you're not on your neck. And again, hip bones to the bottom of the ribs. So we're keeping the flexion through the spine. We're going to engage our glutes a little bit to open the hip joint only as far as you can stay balanced at your shoulder blades. Soften and lower down bone by bone, keeping your head and shoulders on the mat. 1 more time. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, rolling up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, soften and roll down bone by bone. And hug the knees in and just kind of roll side to side. So I got a request on my last flow video for inverted scissors and bicycles. So we're going to do that now, but I'm going to give you a modification if you want to stick with the modification and you don't want to do the inversion of the scissors and bicycle. So crossing the ankles, arms at the side, and your modification is just going to be some hip lifts. So curling up, think knees to shoulders. Try to keep your shoulders and your head on the floor as you're lifting and lowering. So that's going to be your modification as we do our inverted scissors and inverted bicycles. So for those of you who want to do the inverted, we're just going to uncross legs together. An easy way to get into it is to do a hip lift. And you're going to bring your hands underneath your bottom and just kind of walk them up to your low back. So our weight is on the shoulder blades again, maybe a little bit lower. From here, we're going to keep our hands at our low back, and you're going to start to open up the hip joint, just like you did for your jackknife. And what's going to happen is that your weight's going to start to transfer from your back to your elbows, to your forearms. So we want to try to get our spine straight in neutral. We're going to take the right leg up, left leg out, and see if you can lengthen a little bit more by reaching through that left leg. All right, so here we go into our scissors. We're going to reach away 2 times and then switching. Reach away 2 times, switch. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Now my weight is on my elbows. It's on my not my forearms, my upper arms. There's really not any weight at all on my shoulder blades, but I do feel my shoulder blades on the mat. 1 more time. We're going to switch. So the left leg is down, right leg is up. Let's do bicycles. Bend your right knee. And then as you reach it away from you, you're going to take that left leg up. Bend your left knee. Reach it away. Lift the right leg. So there's a moment where both legs are stretching like your scissors. Do it again. 1 more time. We're going to reverse our bicycles. So you're going to bend the left knee. Really open up that hip. As you pull your knee in, lower the right leg. Stretch the left leg up. Bend the right knee. Open up that hip. Pull the knee in, lower the left leg. Reach the right leg up. 1 more each way. Just smooth it out. Relax any tension in your neck. Then we're going to bend our knees towards our nose. Slowly bring your weight to your shoulder blades, taking your hands back onto the mat. And we're going to roll down bone by bone. It's nice and easy. Let's make circles with our knees on the ceiling. Just take a couple deep breaths in and out. So you'll feel a lot of work through your mid-back, even though there's really no weight on your mid-back. And we're getting that nice opening through our hips because we're in an inverted position. Let's take our left leg long, right leg up, arms out to the side. Let's take this right into some single leg circles. Anchoring through that left side as your right leg goes out to the side and up. Inhaling and exhaling. So making sure when you cross your midline, that right hip is coming up, but not the shoulder blade. So we get that rotation through our spine and our hips. One more time. We're going to stop with our leg up to the ceiling and reverse it. Inhale and exhale. This will feel good. Keeping the shoulder blades on the mat. Keep energy into that left side so the hip is anchored to the mat as your right leg goes to the side. If you're getting popping in your hips, reach through your leg more. If that doesn't fix it, make your circles smaller. One more. We're going to lower the right leg, kind of centering the hips. Left leg, bend it to tabletop, stretched up. And let's cross our midline. Hip comes off, but not the shoulder. And big circles. Inhale for half your circle. Exhale for the other half. Try to relax any tension in the neck and shoulders. Make sure your hands are still out to the side. They're not up overhead somewhere. And let's do 3 more here. 2, 1. We're going to meet with our leg up. Let's reverse out to the side, down, cross your midline, and pull that hip back with the leg. And then take it back out to the side. Again, think about your leg getting longer on each circle. So we're really reaching it away. 3 more times. 2 more. 1 more time. And we're going to hug the knee in, deep breath in and out, and then just take the leg down. Open the legs as wide as your mat. Let's take our arms overhead and press the body into the floor for roll-ups. Pointing our toes, we're going to float our arms up. Draw chin to chest, start to curl the head and shoulders off the mat. Legs in your tailbone towards your heels and roll all the way up. Flex the feet, stretch forward. Leaning back with your pubic bone, roll down bone by bone. Point the toes, take an inhale. Press your body onto the floor. Arms float up, draw chin to chest. Exhale, rolling up, flex the feet. Big stretch forward again. And let's do that again. We're going to do 3 more roll-ups. The breath never stops. 2 more. One more. We're going to end with our stretch and restack the spine all the way back up. We're going to take our legs a little wider than our mat. Find the sharpest points of the sits bones. If your hamstrings are a little tight and they're making you sit like that, just bend the knees a little bit. Sit up nice and tall, arms out to the side, ribs down. We're going to rotate through the spine, keeping even weight in our hips. Rotate to the left. Take your right hand, reach across like you're going to saw off your right pinky toe, and we're going to stretch across, anchoring down through the right hip, and 4 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Restack the spine, keeping your rotation, and then twist back to center. Again, get a little taller, rotate to the right. Take the left hand, reach across like you're going to saw off your right pinky toe. Anchor through your left hip, 4 pulses. You can look back at your right hand. Inhale, restack. Exhale to center, get a little taller. Inhale, rotate, exhale, reach. Quick little inhale and exhale to pulse. Inhale, restack, exhale to center. Inhale, rotate, reach across. Pulse. Inhale, restack, exhale to center. 1 more time each way, everybody. Last one. Restack and come back to center. We're just going to bring our legs in as wide as our mat. Keep flexing the feet. We're going to go spine stretch forward. So take the biceps by your ears. Pull up through your core. Stay on your sit bones. And we're going to curl forward, shoulders down. Flex the feet. Really stretch so the abs are pulling in. The upper body stretching forward. Imagine going over a ball. Inhale, restack. So we feel this wonderful stretch through our upper mid back. And again, scoop and curl. Inhale, restack. One more time. Exhale, scoop and curl. Pull those ribs up to the ceiling. Inhale, restack. We're going to circle the arms down, scoop just to the back of the sit bones. Bring your hands underneath your knees and legs come to tabletop. Find a balance. So tail's tucked under. And now we're going to lift the upper mid back. So our spine should be, think about it being in the shape of the letter J. Tail's tucked under, upper mid back is straight. We're going to take our arms up, hold the balance. Now we're going to lower the arms, palms are up. You're going to take your abs and scoop deeper to the back of the sit bones. So now you feel like you're on your sacrum. And then we're going to lift right back up to the back of the sit bones. Exhale back. You can inhale back. Exhale, come up. That might feel better. Inhale back. Exhale, but it's just going to be harder because you got to scoop deeper on your inhale. My knees are kind of going out a little bit. But really make sure it's coming from where your pubic bone is. So just above the pubic bone, we're kind of leading back with the bone. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Let's take a butterfly stretch to release that work through the hip flexors. Deep breaths in and out here. And I'm going to restack our spine. Turn your feet so that they face, your knees and feet face forward. You can flex your feet if you want so your heels or toes are looking up. We're going to bring our hands behind the head at the base of the skull. We're going to scoop and roll back. Now as we come up, I want you to rotate towards your right knee. Your elbow does not have to touch, but I do want you to keep even weight on your sit bones. Now we're going to start to lift the right knee. So right knee to elbow. As you go back, I want you to extend the leg. Right knee to elbow again. And let's point that right foot. Inhale, exhale. So it's kind of the same thing. You're deepening your curl. You're rolling to the back of your sacrum. Then as you come up, you kind of right to the back of the sit bones. 2 more times. 1 more. Flex the foot, put it down. Butterfly stretch forward. Deep breath in and out. Restack the spine. Again, turning the feet so the knees are hip width. Anchor through your heels. Hands behind the head. We're going to scoop and roll back. And then rotate towards the left knee. Again, your elbow doesn't have to touch here. What you want to make sure you have is even weight on your sit bones. Now we're going to start to pick up the leg. So as we come up, we're going to pick the leg up, point the toe. And as you go back, extend the leg out and then pull it in. Out, pull it in. Imagine hitting a bullseye with the toes. So the leg reaches that way, your abs pull back the opposite direction. 5 more. 4. 3, really feeling those right obliques working. 2. 1. Butterfly stretch. Deep breaths in and out. We're going to keep the bottoms of the feet together, scoop and roll back. Hands behind the head at the base of the skull. Move your feet a little bit towards your body. Lengthen the tailbone to your heels so you'll feel a little bit of a lift up through the knees because we're trying to be in a slight imprint. And we're going to do 6 crunches. Here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a little breather. We're going to do 6 more. You may keep your feet on the mat or lift them off a 1/2 inch. So again, let's pull the hip bones together. If you want to lift your feet, lift up, and 6 more crunches. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Knees together. Imprint the low spine, bring your legs to tabletop. We're going to curl up, rotate to the right knee, extend the left leg, anchor through the left hip because that's the leg that's out. And we're going to go into crisscross. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Your hips should feel like they are cemented to the floor. Try to get both shoulder blades off the mat for more of a challenge. And let's double time it. Inhale, switch 2 times. Exhale, switch 2 times. 2 more sets. And rest. Make circles with your knees on the ceiling. Woo! Let's reverse. Hope everybody's doing okay out there. It's a hard class today. We're going to now go ahead and roll onto our stomach for some extension. So let's kind of get our body opened up after being in a lot of flexion. We're going to take our arms straight out. The legs can be turned out. I want you to lengthen the tailbone to your heels so you feel your pelvis pressing into the mat. You feel suction cup action happening through your belly. We're going to lift the chest, keeping the tops of the feet on the mat. Lift the arms. You're going to circle them to the side, press them to your body. Lift higher without your feet coming off. Now bend your elbows, and as you go to pass your arms forward again, I want you to lower your chest into a hover over the mat. Open to the side, squeeze to your body, lift your chest, squeeze those shoulder blades back, squeeze your belly button up, bend the elbows. As you pass the arms forward again, lower your chest into a hover. Let's smooth that out so it feels like a breaststroke in the water. Inhaling and exhaling. When you reach your arms forward, make sure the shoulder blades slide down your back. We're going to add some pulses to work our lats. So we're going to lift 4 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bend the elbows, reach forward. Inhale, open, press, lift the belly. 4 pulses to your body with the arms. 2, 3, 4. Bend the elbows, reach forward. Keep your feet on the mat. Lift. Arms are going to go to your side. Now 4 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bend the elbows, reach forward. One more time. Lift and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bend the elbows, reach forward. We're going to press up into a shell stretch. You can have your knees apart or together. Rest your arms along the side of the legs. Rest the top of the forehead on the mat. Deep breaths in and out. And we're going to come back onto our belly. Onto your forearms for single leg and double leg kick. So because we're up on our forearms, we're kind of in our little Sphinx pose. Collarbones are wide. You want to keep your belly engaged so that you don't sink into your low back like that. So really lift up through your core. Legs are hip width apart and in parallel. We're going to point both toes. Take the left knee. You're going to bend the knee, pulse the heel to your bottom. Flex the foot, pulse it again. Point the toe, reach it back down. Let's do the right. Point the toe, pulse the heel to the bottom. 1, flex the foot, pulse it again. 2, and then point the toe as you lower the leg back down, stretching through it. Let's try to pick up our pace. Point, flex, reach. Point, flex, reach. Now as you're doing your pulse, you really want to make sure the core stays lifted. So on your pulse, you should not be sinking your belly to the floor. The hips stay down. Your pubic bone stays on the floor. Don't allow it to lift up. That would mean you're arching your back. The breathing is an exhale, exhale, inhale. One more set. Keep the shoulders down, keep your abs lifted, even lift them more. Let's do doubles. Point, flex, lower. Doubles are harder. Keep your pubic bone on the mat, resist dumping into the low back. One more time. You're gonna lower down, bring your arms to the side of the body. Take an inhale, lift everything up. Your legs can go into turnout. And then lower down one more time. Inhale, lift everything up. And then lower down. We're going to take one quad stretch. If you can't grab your feet when you bend your knees, just do the last exercise one more time. If you can grab your feet, we're going to lift up, but press the feet into the hands and the hands into the feet. So we get that nice shoulder opening and stretch through our quads. And then lower down. Let's rest in a shell stretch. Legs together apart, and just take a moment to breathe and allow the spine to flex. And we're going to restack our spine nice and slow here. We're going to come into a side plank on our forearm. Let's go top foot in front, bottom foot back, and you're kind of toe to heel. And you want to be on the side of your foot, especially the back one. So make sure your foot doesn't start to curl under like that and all of a sudden you're on the top of the foot. So you really got to flex your foot. We got to work those muscles in the lower leg to make sure we're staying on the outside of the back foot and the inside of the top foot. This shoulder is going to stay down. Make sure your elbow is underneath your shoulder. Make sure it's not way out here and it's also not in. So it's right underneath so you can really support your body. Keep the top hand here if you need a little assistance. If not, hand on your hip and we're going to lift. And again, make sure you're on the sides of your feet. Nice and tall through your spine. We're going to lower our hip. This shoulder stays down and we're going to press up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently lower the hips. You're going to bring your bottom leg forward so that the bottom foot is now by the top knee. Or if you're mirroring me, it'll be your left foot by your right knee. Take a side bend to stretch that out. Come all the way back up. We're going to swing our legs around to the other side. So we did top foot forward, bottom foot back. Again, flex your feet. Make sure you're pressing into the sides of the feet. This elbow directly beneath your shoulder, collarbones wide. So feel the shoulder blades pull back flat against your back. Hand can be here if you don't need assistance. If you need a little balance work, just put the hand here to act like a little kickstand, and let's lift. So just check, sides of the feet, both heels are down. Tall through the spine, lower lift the hip. 10, 9, so bottom hip just goes down and back up. 7, just to a straight spine. 6, 5, 4, so really lifting through those bottom ribs. 2, 1. Separate the feet and take a counter stretch. We're going to stay here. Just turn the right, if you're mirroring me, it'll be your left leg. Turn that leg up and then bring your right foot behind the left foot. So the bottom foot is behind the top foot. This shoulder is again going to stay back and down. Press with the knuckles of the hand like you would in a plank. And we're going to rest our left wrist on our left knee. Push the hips up and forward. We're going to keep our bottom knee down for a moment. Take your top arm, thread it underneath the bottom arm so you feel that twist through your spine. Come back up, and then the bottom shoulder is what's going to pull back to open you to the ceiling. Don't allow it to come from this shoulder. This shoulder pulls back. We're going to come back to center, arch over the mat. Lengthen back, Slowly bring the hips down. Really press into the floor with this arm to lower down. I'm going to move back a little bit. So I'm kind of coming off my mat. So that's the modified version. Just keep your bottom knee down. We're going to do 2 more. I'm going to do the advanced version if you want it. Don't feel like you have to do it, especially if you're at home. There is a lot of balance work that comes with it. You're still getting an awesome workout by keeping your knee down for the intermediate version. So here we go. We're going to come up. You're going to squeeze the thighs together, curl the bottom toes under, and we're going to connect right here. So squeeze. That's what's going to help you find your balance. Take that top arm. You're going to thread it underneath the bottom arm. If you want more of a challenge, hike those hips up. Right shoulder down, untwist to a straight spine. Now bottom shoulder pulls back, that's what opens you to the ceiling, the small opening. Come back to center, arch over your mat. Lengthen out, gently bend the knees, slowly bring the hips down. Let's smooth it out. Inhale up, exhale twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bottom shoulder pulls back, open up. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, side bend. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, slowly lower down. Shake out your wrist. This is a hard one. Not only are we in a side plank, but we're doing it up on the arm. So it's a lot harder. Now we're adding all those twists through the spine. So just be careful. Stick with the knee staying down to help you with your balance for right now if you need it. All right, so let's set up on the other side. Bottom foot behind the top foot. If you're mirroring me, it'll be your right wrist on the right knee. Pull both shoulders back. Press to the knuckles of your hands so you don't get a lot of pressure in the wrist. We're going to take an inhale, come up. Exhale, top arm threads under. Feel that twist through your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Now again, it's the bottom shoulder that pulls back to open us to the ceiling. Back to center, arch over your mat. Lengthen back out, gently bring the hips down. All right, we're going to do 2 more. I will be doing the advanced variation. Keep your knee down if you're having a hard time with your balance. I'd rather you feel comfortable with your balance and get that nice twist through your spine than trying to struggle staying up. So if you want that harder variation, we're going to pass through here. You're going to connect this. That's the important part. So the legs squeeze. That connection stays. Top arm threads under. For more of a challenge, you can pike your hips up. Keep those legs connected. Inhale, lengthen back out. Bottom shoulder pulls back to open you up. Come back to center, arch over your mat, big stretch. Back to center, gently bend the knees to lower down. One more time, let's smooth it out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, gently coming down. And let's shake out our wrist. Nice job, everybody. We can latch our fingers together and just pull. So we get a little decompression in our carpal bones, the bones right in here. Switch, and again, pull. All right. It was an awesome class. We're going to start to stretch out. So let's come into a lunge with our right foot forward. So nice opening through the left hip. Coming up onto the fingertips, lift the heart up a little bit. This will feel good after doing all that teaser work. Coming up onto the knee. Really feeling the back hamstring, the right hamstring working as you come up. Take the left arm high, add a gentle back bend if that feels okay for your body. We're going to cartwheel our arms down to the inside of the right leg. You're going to let your right foot or right knee fall out to the side. So you're coming onto the side of the right foot. And we feel that opening through our hips. To deepen this stretch, feel free to come down onto your forearms if you want. And we're just going to hold here and breathe for a moment. Slowly come up onto the hands. We're going to stay here again. Now this is optional. Your right hand So the right knee is what's going out to the side. It's our right hand that we're going to lift up and do a circle back. Pull that left shoulder back. Stay here, or if you can bend your left knee and grab your foot, go ahead and do that. So we're adding a little quad stretch here. Hold and breathe. And gently release the leg. Just lift the arm up, circling it back. We'll plant our right foot and then straighten the right leg so you get a stretch in your hamstring. Now this is optional. We'll practice our split stretch. You can stay here and work on stretching out that hamstring if your hamstrings are a little tight. So just be careful. If you want to practice a little split stretch, you're going to start to slide the right leg out. Keep your hips square for a moment. And then you're going to lift up, turn your back leg out, and see if you can go down farther. Just be gentle. Be gentle with your body. If it feels too much, back off. Don't push it. We don't need to injure ourselves while we're lengthening our muscles. Keep holding, keep breathing. Pick yourself up, slide your right foot back. Everybody back into your lunge stretch. I'm going to curl the back toes under, just lift the knee up. Hands on the mat, we're going to pike. So slide the right foot back and pike your hips up and just try to kind of walk out your pike. So we kind of work that stretch out through the hips before we switch sides. And both heels down. We'll step our left foot forward, gently bring the knee down and uncurl the toes. So you're in your lunge stretch on the right now. Shoulders back and down. And then gently bring your hands onto the knee. So you feel that work through your hamstring. So I'm not paid to say this, but I do want to recommend if you're doing Pilates at home and you're going to consistently work out, that you'll notice I got new mats. So these are the granite Pilates mat from Merrithew, from Stott. I'm a Stott certified instructor. So this is their brand and they are awesome. So I've been doing the last couple classes on them and they're just, you know, for Pilates you want a thicker mat and these things are so thick and just kind of compact. And they just add that extra cushion that you need for all the exercises and stretches that we do in Pilates. So I recommend getting one. If you check them out, I believe they're still on sale. So check them out. They're awesome. I just want to recommend them because I'm really loving working out on them. And my floor is even padded. And just having this on top, it just feels really good. So we're going to take our right arm high. And then bring your hands down to the inside of your foot and allow your left knee to fall out to the side. So you're coming onto the side of your left foot. And then of course, if you want to deepen it, we'll come down onto our forearms. And just keep holding and breathing here for a moment, letting the hips open up. And then we'll come back onto our hands. This next part is optional. So if it's the left leg that's going out to the side, we're going to take the left arm around, pull both shoulders back. Stay here or bend your back knee, grab the foot, add that little quad stretch for yourself. Gently bring your foot down, little circle with the hand, come back, bring your foot forward, and then extend the left leg so you're in your hamstring stretch again. Now stay here, stretch out those hamstrings if you don't want to practice a split stretch. So sometimes this is good enough. If you want to practice your split stretch, we're going to slide the left leg out. Keep your hips square for a moment. And then turn the back leg out. Gently lower down. Be gentle. If it feels too much, back off. Keep holding, keep breathing. Pick yourself up, slide the left leg back. We're gonna curl the back toes under, lift the knee, and then come into a pike. And we're just gonna walk out our pike. So kind of release that really big stretch in the right hip. Both heels down, shoulders down. We're gonna gently bring our knees down. And then come to a seated position with one leg in front. And we'll take the left arm up and over, anchoring through both hips. Coming back up and right arm up and over. Thank you everybody so much. If you did my class and you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. I'll try to leave a link for this mat if you're interested in it in the video. I haven't done that yet, but I'll try to leave that so you can check it out. And have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you next week for Classic.